200 legions of darkness obey him without question. 72 spirits bow to his ancient command. But here's what really gets under your skin. He doesn't need terror to control you at all. You light the candles in the dark room, speak his name out loud, and wait for something. No screaming echoes through the walls, no flames burst forth, just pure, heavy silence listening. This is King Paimon, one of the most powerful entities that can command the human soul itself. Paimon isn't some internet myth created last week to generate clicks and viral reactions. His name appears in the Lemegeton, a 17th century grimoire known as Lesser Key of Solomon. In the first book called Ars Goetia, Paimon is catalogued as the ninth spirit, holding rank. Out of 72 spirits documented in those ancient pages, only a select few earn the title king. Paimon stands among them with absolute authority, commanding respect through hierarchy alone. When he travels alone, 200 legions march under his banner, loyal and ready to execute orders. When he brings his full assembly, 2 infernal kings walk ahead announcing his arrival first. He answers only to Lucifer himself and demands complete obedience from everyone beneath him. This system isn't built on chaos or random chance. It runs on strict hierarchy and structure. And in that ancient system of power and control, you're standing at the very bottom looking up. So let's walk through what actually happens if someone attempts to summon this entity tonight. First step is simple but crucial. You must face northwest, the direction tied to his presence. This orientation has been maintained across centuries of ritual practice passed down carefully. Next, you draw his seal with precision because every single line, every curve carries meaning here. Each stroke becomes a threshold you're opening between worlds, a doorway you're creating carefully. That seal isn't mere decoration on paper. It functions as an actual two-way between dimensions. Then you speak his name using exact words pulled from grimoires copied across many generations. These phrases have been tested repeatedly over centuries by those who came before seeking power. And then you wait in the heavy silence, listening for signs that something has heard your call. The first thing you notice, it isn't anything visual at all. It's sound that arrives from nowhere. Trumpets echo faintly. Cymbals clash softly. Musical tones emerge from the edges of the room. The air becomes noticeably heavier around you. Atmospheric pressure shifts in ways you can feel. This isn't random background noise playing tricks on your ears. This is an organized procession. Each distinct sound announces status and rank, declaring power and authority entering your space. When Paimon brings his complete court assembly, 2 specific spirits always arrive before him first. Labal and Abali walk ahead in the procession, their presence confirming the ritual worked correctly. And when the atmosphere thickens further, when sound settles deep behind your racing thoughts, that's the exact moment you realize something fundamental. The structure isn't yours anymore now. Now here's where the description gets genuinely strange and starts messing with your perception. Every visual detail in how Paimon manifests carries symbolic weight and psychological meaning. His face appears distinctly feminine in some angles, but not fully female in its presentation. Masculine features show in other angles, but not quite male either. Something between categories. That deliberate ambiguity destabilizes human perception because our brains demand clear categories. Paimon refuses to provide that comfort of simple classification, keeping you mentally off balance. The longer you attempt to observe him directly, the less certain you become about anything else. He rides a dromedary, which is the specific type of camel bred with just one distinctive hump. Camels carry enormous burdens across impossible distances through brutal heat without complaint. Always moving steadily forward at their own measured pace, never rushed, never stopping completely. That's exactly what knowledge granted by Paimon feels like once it settles into your awareness. It becomes a heavy weight you continue carrying long after you truly understand what it means. And Paimon wears a crown that isn't hidden away or merely symbolic in nature. It's just there, placed clearly on his head for everyone to see, declaring rank before any words are ever spoken. That crown communicates everything instantly. He exists above you in the established hierarchy. And whether you consciously accept it or not at first, you're eventually going to obey him. So why would anyone deliberately summon something this powerful, this ancient, this controlling? Because Paimon grants genuine power, not just interesting trivia, but knowledge that creates leverage. He teaches hidden truths about reality itself, what Earth truly is, what holds it in waters, what the human mind actually consists of, and where consciousness really resides in the body. These aren't philosophical riddles or word games. They're direct answers stripping away confusion. They leave you standing with absolute certainty, while everyone around you continues guessing blindly.
Help us, someone show the way.
Paimon also bestows something called dignities, an invisible weight making people respect you more. He assigns familiar spirits that work behind the scenes, adjusting outcomes in your direct favor, removing resistance from your path, guiding circumstances to fall exactly where you need them to. Where others struggle desperately against obstacles, you somehow move freely through barriers easily. Where others must plead endlessly for attention, you speak once and people actually hear you clearly. You summon him because he offers tools most people never access in their entire lifetime, ever. Sharper judgment that cuts through deception. Greater presence that commands rooms without effort. Deeper control extending over your world and circumstances, not just others, but yourself, too. But here's the part those ancient grimoires carefully avoid mentioning in their ritual instructions. You genuinely don't realize when the fundamental shift begins happening deep inside your mind. Your thoughts continue feeling like they originate from you. Your desires seem completely familiar. Your decisions appear perfectly rational and logical. Nothing feels obviously wrong at first glance. Paimon rewrites things slowly and precisely, working from the edges inward toward your core self. Until eventually the center of who you are bends and reshapes itself to match his design, exactly. It begins with growing confidence that feels good. Your voice gains noticeable weight in conversations. People start actually listening when you speak instead of talking over you like they used to do.
Witness the weight of true authority.
New opportunities open up that weren't accessible before. Doors that were previously locked swing wide. You navigate life with unusual clarity that others around you struggle desperately to find themselves. But soon that sharp judgment transforms gradually into cold detachment from things you once valued. Fears that used to control your decisions suddenly don't matter anymore. They just fade away quietly. Things you once loved deeply start feeling completely optional. Relationships become expendable tools. Your core values shift in directions that somehow feel perfectly logical and necessary for progress. The hunger for deeper knowledge grows stronger daily. You're not seeking answers, but hunting secrets. Truths nobody asked you to discover, revelations that isolate you from everyone who can't understand. He doesn't take your soul away from you violently. He commands it, and eventually, you